Naga is a Sanskrit word which basically refers to a serpent or a snake. The term Naga in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism denotes divine, semi-divine deities or a semi-divine race of half-human, half-serpent beings that resides in the heavenly underworld and can occasionally take human form. They are principally depicted in three forms: holy humans with snakes on their heads and necks, common serpents, or as half-human, half-snake beings. A female Naga is a Nagini. As in Hinduism, the Buddhist Naga generally has the form of a great cobra, usually with a single head, but sometimes with many. At least some of the Nagas are capable of using magic powers to transform themselves into a human semblance. China has dragons, and dragons are seen as powerful and good luck. The indigenous people in Australia have a rainbow serpent. Shiva has snakes around his neck. The Aztecs worship Quetzalcoatl, a feather-plumed serpent that eats humans. You've seen people shifting, but they want you to believe that it's some sort of birth defect. And if you've ever been to London, there is a dragon that greets you once you cross the bridge to let you know what sort of country that you're in. You can look all over how many times snakes and dragons and serpents have appeared in mythologies from all over the world who seemingly have nothing to do with each other, such as Egypt and Greece and all of their half human, half reptile creatures. The group Alat-Ra comes up again. This woman is a reptilian, and people have noticed her kind of Liz out, if you will. Her name is Jana. This word is pronounced J, as in pleasure. So Jana is allegedly her name. I don't think so. I get a princess or queen feeling from her, so she's some special thing in this group. You will see her many times flashing her eyes, which is her sending messages and programming people.
Now, some people may think that the flashes are merely electrical interference. This is bullshit. She does this over and over and over throughout the video. The group tells us who they are and where they are from. Well, these are extraterrestrial beings. These are extraterrestrial reptilian beings. And I'm not the only one who caught him and her, by the way. We're going to focus on this reptilian woman. We're going to look at her eyes flashing. Her eyes literally flash. So let's go back to this reptilian woman. I guess go back. So I'm going to show you a series of pictures where her eyes are literally changing. Okay, anyone who tried to say that it's light interference of some sort is bullshit. Okay, because she does it over and over again. Okay, and over and over again. There's no way. Trust your instincts. Her eyes shape shift. There is a visual. This is perhaps how she is sending subliminal / psychic attacks at people. Watch. Now I understand the flashing of the eye, because when they flash the eye, partially what happens is the eyes is changing form, and this is what happens. If you look at the screen, you see slits right in the center of both eyes. You can't make this up. The evidence, it just adds up. Tongue, eyes, slit eyes flashing, the eyes flashing and the eyes changing perhaps are the same, or perhaps it's also because they're sending messages, as they themselves said. If you're paying attention and you're not trying to deny anything, it's pretty obvious what's going on here. Reptilians, having had past life experiences with them, are very, very intelligent, very, very astute, clever. They would not hesitate to torture you 1,000 years if that is what's needed for them to get what they want.
The Reptile Park is in Oslo, Norway. The YouTube employees keep deleting more and more of my comments, but someone had asked where it was. It's the Vigeland Park in Oslo, Norway. And another comment of mine that was deleted is I told a subscriber that I actually saw a doctor who was assessing me that his left pupil shifted. And it must have been the way that I looked at him, but he knew. And he was acting very strange toward me after that. And I never saw him again. So he definitely knew that I saw him. And I know that these things are here and they exist. The last time I went home, I was talking to a tourist. And he'd been coming to the same cafe day after day. And he told me that he was in bed with a woman and she shifted into a reptilian. But he said lizard. And I was watching him to see if he was lying, and I was asking him questions about it, and I could see that he was in memory. But he looked traumatized. He looked really disturbed. So I don't think that he was lying about that. They're here. You probably could have dated one. You could be married to one. You wouldn't really know because they're good at hiding. So when people say that they have seen such creatures or that they shifted, might be a good idea to pay attention.
I remember there was there was a man that James Bartley knew in San Diego County who used to do, like, raves were really big in the 90s, where the kids would get together and they'd have music and they'd party and take ecstasy. But there was a young man who did these raves, and he said, he would see craft, not only see craft roaming around when these people would get together and do what they do, but he actually saw greys manifesting there during the raves, and they were, basically feeding on the energy.
De är varken oskyldiga eller människor. Många av dem ser precis ut som vi, men de är inte som vi. Det finns överallt. Gömmer sig mitt ibland oss. Det kan vara vem som helst utan att vi vet om det.